Hello, everyone. I am going to talk about moving forward from failure, which I know plenty of from experience. And I really don't want to do this video, but I want to talk about it because I feel like, I don't know, I should just talk about it. So, I'm going to talk about two things that I've been doing to keep me going. And I wanted to briefly talk about, why I'm still in this predicament. It's really lame because I don't know, apparently I just don't learn. But so I basically, like a couple months ago, I ended up with this freelancing contracting type gig. It was my very first time doing contract programming, and it was pretty cool because I don't know, I just wasn't confident in my abilities to be a programmer. But this guy, I helped him out with his business programming, and I was like, yay, I finally got something that I can use to stay alive while I work on my business, right? And so I did as little as I possibly could, which is really stupid, because he's like my client. But I mean, I got not like it. I mean, I did the work, but I just, like, I wasn't putting in the effort because I was like, well, part of it's just because like I hate the idea of working for somebody else. I don't know if you've heard the term psychologically unemployable, but I definitely have that, and it's pretty bad. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I would work for him. We're still on good terms. I just don't really like work for him anymore. Like, we're more like friends than um than like employee boss type situation. But anyway, so um after I went on this like road trip, and then that didn't, and then with my family, and then throughout that time, basically I just stopped working for him, and now I basically am in the same exact position that I was in like 6 months ago, which is really embarrassing because you're supposed to make progress, and I'm just not very good at that right now. But I have made like quite a bit of progress in the last like couple weeks because you know I my whole like residual income, passive income type stuff is, it's not that it's not working out, but it's the fact that I don't have the money to invest in the tools that I need to keep that going. So I am doing what I did a couple months ago, only I'm doing it for myself. I'm actually focusing 100% on freelancing and building my freelancing business. So anything that involves helping my clients or helping people become my clients or anything like that, regarding like web development, because that's my freelancing business, then I'm focusing on that. But the difference being that when I'm working for like as a contractor, I'm helping somebody else with their clients, and I have to ask somebody like for a raise or whatever, so I get paid the amount that they choose. But when I'm working for my clients directly, then it's my business and I'm building it. And I don't know, it's just kind of like there's more sense of pride and ownership of the client. They're my client, and it's my responsibility to take care of them rather than just being a code junkie. So back to the video. So I'm basically back in the same exact situation, living in my car, and it really kind of just, it's not fun. But I mean, living in the car isn't bad, but the fact that I haven't made the progress that I should have made if I would make better decisions is frustrating. So that is why I'm talking about failure and moving forward from it when it's hard or when it sucks, or when you don't want to, I guess. I mean, because I'd really like to just go back home and crawl in bed and just kind of like be a little wimp or something and just not do anything with my life. But that is not an option. So I'm here, and I am going to talk about two things that have been helping me kind of move forward. And the first thing is hold on, is focusing on what I control. Yeah, I have a notepad, so go ahead and cry or whatever. But anyway, so focus on the things that you can control. And so part of my business plan is doing like networking events and like just prospecting, you know, because obviously you need to talk to people. So I'm doing as much as I can and getting people to know about me so I can do freelance work for them or web development. And the first thing I thought, like, well, one of these things that I will be doing is probably cold calling and walking door to door, you know, walking door to door on businesses and passing out my card, and along with networking, because, you know, this is like the hustle stage where, you know, my business isn't like, you know, bringing in me clients like by referrals and by my website, but I have to like actually go out there and get clients, you know, and that's just the hustle stage. So, and I really don't want to do cold calling. I don't want to do I don't mind networking events, but I don't want to go door to door talking to businesses either, because it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. So, so what I thought was instead of focusing on like, you know, my biggest fear is not getting results, you know, like walking in and then being like, ah, get out of here, you idiot, or whatever, you know, and I don't know, just some stupid fear that is probably never going to happen, you know, because that's what fear is. It's just irrational, and well, it's not always irrational, but it's something that you're not supposed to let interfere with your life, you know. And so I was afraid of whatever could happen, and like not seeing the results that I want. So instead of focusing on the fact that I might not get the results, I'm focusing on what I can control, and that is me going out there and actually prospecting. So as long as I am making an effort, then in my opinion that I win, because it's not really about getting the clients. It's about, well, I mean, it is, but it's more about stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things that are uncomfortable to you. And I think that's what will make you successful. And then, but I mean, that's not enough, obviously, because you do need to get clients eventually. And so number two for me that has kept me going is making very small improvements. And this seems to, like, I mean, I've done a bit of research on it, and it seems to be the way you learn basically everything, and it just applies to everything in your life. So making small improvements. So my first step is to get comfortable with prospecting. So instead of expecting to get a client right away, my first step is just to get comfortable prospecting. So go out there and, you know, knock on the door or whatever, go into the building and ask for the manager and get comfortable doing that, you know. And then once I get comfortable doing that, then I'll focus on the next step, like getting a call back or getting like a follow-up or something. And I'm trying to do all these things, but my only goal right now is to get comfortable, you know, so small improvements. And then, you know, so one thing that I saw that was really cool, there was this video of this guy who had like a bunch of dominoes, you know, and the very biggest domino was like 800 pounds or something like that. And then each domino before it was a little bit smaller. And the very smallest domino was so tiny he couldn't even pick it up with his fingers. He had to use like this pair of tweezers to like set it down. And within like 16 dominoes, you can go from this like little tiny tweezer sized domino to this 800-pound domino. And like apparently like 4 or 5 more dominoes you could have knocked over the Empire State Building. And so I mean, it's pretty cool. But and I think that's a really key element in moving forward, even after failure, is just focusing on those small improvements. So for me, I like to think of like my goal of having a passive income where I can make money while I sleep is like maybe like domino number 4 or 5, and I've been trying to skip dominoes 1 through 3. So my first domino is freelancing, you know, and just the way that I'm working. So so yeah, I'm focusing on freelancing and 100%. So I will get clients, I will trade my time for money for now, and I will build my business. And that is what I'm doing. And that's, so 2 things that I've done is just focus on the result, focus on actions that I can control, and focusing on small improvements. And that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff, but I think those are the two big ones. And, you know, thinking positive and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just take massive action and all that kind of stuff. So I am feel free to subscribe to my channel and like it, and I like the video. And I'm building a freelancing kind of like course, because, you know, I'm learning a lot, and I think a lot of people want to be freelancers, so, and, you know, work for themselves and control their own future. So I am trying to figure out how to do that, and I'm making like a little ebook or guide on how to do that, and mistakes I've made, and what's worked and what hasn't worked. So you want to start your own business, then click on that guide. I mean, you know, it's a work in progress, so I'll get there, and I hope that I can help you get there faster without having to live in your car. So that's about it. Have a good day, and oh yeah, the little guide should be on the, like, in a little eye or somewhere in the description or somewhere around here. So have fun, and hope you have a good day.